All right. Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to August 6th, 2024. We are in chapter 2, page 81. Little recap. Can you all hear me okay? Okay, cool. So we're in chapter 2, definite major purpose, definite chief aim. And we were talking about suppose your definite chief aim is far above, your present station in life. What of it? It is your privilege, nay, your duty to aim high in life. And then we read the next page, and then we finished up with every well-built house started in the form of a definite purpose plan, a form of a definite purpose plan, a definite plan in nature of a set of blueprints, in a definite plan in the nature of a set of blueprints. Imagine what would happen if one tried to build a house by haphazard methods without plans. Workmen would be in each other's way. Building materials would pile all over the lot before the foundation was completed. And everybody on the job would have different notion of how the house might be built. Result, chaos, misunderstandings, and cost would be prohibitive. So this is where we ended last week. So this is the new stuff now. Yet, have you ever stopped to think that most people finish school, take up employment, or enter a trade or profession without the slightest conception of anything or even that even remotely resembles a definite purpose or a definite plan? In view of this fact, the science has provided reasonably accurate ways and means of analyzing character and determining the life work for which people are best fitted. Does it not seem a modern tragedy that 95% of the adult population of the world is made up of men and women who are failures because they have not found their proper niches in the world? Proper niches in the world's work. If success depends upon power, and if power is organized effort, and if the first step in the direction of organization is a definite purpose, then one may easily see why such a purpose is essential. If success depends upon power, and if power is organized effort, and if the first step in the direction of organization is a definite purpose, then one may easily see why such a purpose is essential. Until a man selects or a woman selects a definite purpose in life, he dissipates, gives away, weakens his energies, and spreads his thoughts over so many subjects and in so many different directions that they lead not to power, but to indecision and weakness. With the aid of a small reading glass, you can teach yourself a great lesson on the value of organized effort. Through the use of such a glass, you can focus the sun rays on a definite spot so strongly that they will burn a hole through a plank. Remove the glass, which represents, where'd it go? Remove the glass, which represents the definite purpose, and the same rays of sun may shine on the plank for 1,000,000 years without burning it. 1,000 electric dry batteries, when properly organized and connected together with wires, will produce enough power to run a good-sized piece of machinery for several hours. But take away those small cells singly, disconnect, and not one of them would exert enough energy to turn the machine over once. The facilities of your mind might properly be linked to those dry cells. When you organize your facilities, your faculties, when you organize your faculties according to the plan laid down in the 16 lessons of the reading course of the Law of Success, and direct them toward the attainment of a definite purpose in life, you then take advantage of the cooperative or cumulative principle out of which power is developed, organized thought, which is called organized thought. Andrew Carnegie's advice was this: place all your eggs in one basket and then watch that basket to see that no one kicks it over. Place all your eggs in one basket, then watch that basket to see that no one kicks it over. By that advice, he meant, of course, that we should not dissipate our energies by engaging in sidelines. Carnegie was a sound economist, and he knew that most men would do well if they so harnessed and directed their energies that some one thing would be done well. When the plan back of this reading course was first born, I remember taking the first manuscript to a professor of the University of Texas. And in a spirit of enthusiasm, I suggested to him that I had discovered a principle that would be of aid to me in every public speech I delivered thereafter, because I would be better prepared to organize and marshal my thoughts. He looked at the outline of 15 points for a few minutes, then turned to me and said, dun, dun, dun. Yes, your discovery is going to help you make better speeches, but that is not all it will do. It will help you become a more effective writer, for I have noticed in your previous writings a tendency to scatter your thoughts. For instance, if you started to describe a beautiful mountain yonder in the distance, you would be apt to sidetrack your description by calling attention to the beautiful bed of wild flowers, or a running brook, or a singing bird, detouring here and there, zigzagging fashion before finally arriving at the proper point from which to view the mountain. In the future, you are going to find it much less difficult to describe an object, whether you are speaking or writing, because your 15 points represent the very foundation of organization. Thoughts, comments, questions? Anybody have any ahas, bullet points?
I found it interesting, Andrew Carnegie's advice to place all your eggs in one basket. Because I have always heard, don't place all your eggs in one basket.
And who did we hear that from? People who don't have all their eggs.
I've heard it from, I've heard it from teachers and economists and financial planners and
people that don't have their eggs all in one basket.
Exactly.
So Dorothea Brand says, if you don't tell me about the lies I've told, I won't tell you about the lies you've told. AKA, your knowledge and awareness of how freaking amazing you are. What would happen if you put all your eggs in one basket?
Well, it would be like the focus of the magnifying glass.
So what would be an example of, so ask yourself, where are your eggs now? You know, we have at the ranch here, we have one of those little like spiral staircases for eggs. You just rest the eggs in it and they spiral up. One day we were looking for the eggs that we couldn't. I'm like, why aren't the chickens laying? And all of a sudden we looked at the azalea bush right outside the porch and there was 10 eggs underneath the azalea bush. Somebody got a clue to start laying eggs there. Now they haven't laid them there again. They did it for 1 or 2 days. I don't know why. Still haven't figured it out. Haven't decided that I'm going to figure it out. It's just so. But if I know there's no eggs there, I know there's eggs somewhere. And then when we gather them, we put them all in that little spiral thing. And if there's too many, we put them in a dish next to it. But we keep all our eggs in one basket. Doesn't that make sense? 2 eggs here, 4 eggs there, 3 eggs in the cabinet. Wouldn't you go nuts?
Yes.
So if it works for nature, what would be the downside of let's just say you took all your eggs and you decided to put them in one basket. You decided to put all of your efforts into one particular thing. What would the thing be? This is for all of you. What would the thing be that you would want to go put your eggs in? Would you want to go put your energy in?
I am excited to find the solution to that.
See how cool it works? And if you found the solution, if you had to find a solution temporarily, intermediary, what would it be? If you were going to pick it tonight, what would it be? You're going to go put all your eggs in one basket. Where would you focus?
That's,
Jim Rohn might say this is a clue. Where would you focus?
yeah.
Pick it. Pick it. Just pick it. You're not stuck with it.
Radionics.
Okay. So what makes radionics important?
It's so multifaceted.
Okay.
It can be adapted to almost anything.
Okay. How much education does it take to perform radionics?
Proficiently, about 6 months.
Okay. And do you have that 6 months of it already completed?
Yes.
How many do you have? Years completed with it?
Almost 2.
Okay, so almost 2. So the fact that it takes 6 months, what's the cost of the equipment? What's the buy-in?
It varies. At minimum of 5,000.
Okay, so 5,000 in 6 months, minimum. You already have that in. How much per session could you make on radionics? What's the most you could make? What's the least you could make? Ballpark, we're just ballparking it.
There are people who make in excess of 500,000 a year.
Okay, let's go back to you now. What would be the most you could charge? What would be the least you could charge? That's impressive. Riggedy.
I'm excited to find the solution to that.
Okay. So if you found a number, does your marketplace, can your marketplace afford radionics?
Yes.
And does your marketplace, is radionics a need to be tactile? Does it need to touch the patient or touch the individuals? Kind of like the rice machine,
Not
I can run
necessarily.
codes for you.
No,
So can you run codes?
not necessarily. Yeah.
Okay, so you can run codes. So what's the benefit of in-person versus codes? Anything? Is it just the placebo effect if somebody thinking they hear the machine and do whatever or whatever?
I would say there's a 25% more accurate reading.
Okay. So if people could get 75% better, would that be good?
Absolutely.
So that's the pitch. Get your butt here. We can work on you 100%. Let me do it far away. We can at least enhance your wellness by 75%. And we may knock the right code out and get to you to 100, but minimum our goal is to work on getting you to 75% before you get here or decide to come here. Does that even make sense? I don't know what the hell I'm saying.
Oh yeah, it makes perfect sense to me.
Okay. Sounds good. I mean, it sounds logical. So now the question is how many of your patients, how many of your clients know you have radionics, you have this technology tool and skill set?
Everyone.
Okay. How many of your clients have used radionics?
Probably half of it, half of
Okay.
them.
So is the market available for the other half?
Yes.
Okay. And if you focused on that, what do you think that would produce? 1,000, 5,000, 10,000?
Probably 5.
Okay. So 5,000. So if you haven't already paid for it, you could pay for the machine now. And you may have more than $5,000 invested in it. What would it take to go after that $5,000? So imagine right now we just set a DMP, $5,000 in radionics. What's the price you'll pay to get paid $5,000? Is it marketing? Is it calling? Is it asking? What is it? What do you think it is?
All of the above.
Okay. And what skill or talent would you need to be able to go do that stuff? And would you spend less than $1,000 to go make 5? Would it even take 1,000?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
So you're gonna have to go spend money on something. Phone calls, time, marketing, ads, something.
Okay.
So is it okay if you spent $1,000 to make 4,000 in profit?
Sure.
Okay. So now your definite major purpose is to go make 5,000. You've got a budget of 1,000. You need to figure out the best ways to spend that. How do you say it? Efficaciously, where something is,
Effectively.
well, effectively, but when we administer something,
Efficaciously.
there you go. So that word. So can you do it efficaciously so that the 1,000 gets you the return? Do you know how to put $1,000 out and get 4,000 back? And the answer to that might be no. So now that's the price you pay. Do you know people who use the machine that would give you some insights that aren't in your marketplace?
Oh, certainly.
Okay. So now your definite major purpose is to make $5,000, radionics, $1,000. Could you go buy somebody dinner, send them coupons, American Express, $50 American Express card, gift card, say, hey, listen, I want to take you to dinner. I ain't showing up. Here's $50. Tell me how you market your product. And now the brain is swirling. We have the little beach ball. But you see what we just did? Definite major purpose, $5,000, $1,000. Go spend the $1,000 efficaciously and effectively and efficiently so that you produce 4,000 in profit. If you could spend 1,000 and make 4,000, I bet there's other things in your marketplace where you could spend 1,000 and make 4,000. How much is a session that you typically charge? A basic session that you typically charge?
$297.
So $300. So what if you split that with people who gave you new clients? Would you be okay with making 150 and they make 150? So you don't have to, you already have people who are buying.
Oh yeah.
So what if you did a FOMO, fear of missing out? You from now until the 20th of August. Anybody, and you talk and you say, listen, I want to grow my radionics. You love it, you enjoy it. You come in, you spend $300. Out of the $300, $297. What does it cost you? What's your hard cost? Your time?
It's time at this point.
Okay. So how long does it take you to, do you have to do anything after you run something on them? Once they leave, is there extra work or is it only the time that they're there?
No, it's just the time that they're here.
Okay. So your time is, you're 200 an hour and you're getting $97 for the machine.
Well, let's tack another 5 on that because they leave with a remedy.
Okay. So they leave with a remedy. So we're at 305, 297, right? So say 300. So it's 97, it's 104, it's 105 when they leave with the remedy. And they pay $5 for the remedy?
No, that's my cost.
Okay, that's your cost. That's what I thought. I'm like, well, there's got to be more than that in that thing. So,
That's
okay.
that's my cost.
So now you're $200 an hour. So is it okay if you take the $1,000? That means you could go get 10 clients at $100 a head to go build some more testimonials. If you got 10 more clients at $300, that's $3,000. So, $4,000. Alexa, what's 4,000 divided by 3? Yes, if you just stop talking. Alexa, what's 4,000 divided by 297?
4,000 divided by 297 is approximately 13.468.
So 13.4. So we need 13 new clients. Alexa, what's 1,000 divided by 13?
1,000 divided by 13 is approximately 76.
So you're giving $75 a head. And if 10 people gave you, if 13 people gave you that at $75 a head, you got your $4,000. Do you have 13 people who would like to take $75 out of your pocket?
I'll have to find out.
Okay. So, and this is after the person is paid. It's not upfront. Typically, it's probably 15 days after or the following month. So if anybody does it in August, you do the network marketing model. If anybody does it in August, you pay them out in September. So you now have a $75 headhunting program in place. And I don't care if one person brings you 5 people. But wouldn't that be a smarter way to spend the $75 to make $4,000?
Infinitely.
And do you have products that people love that are not radionics?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I know that, so I'm just asking you so that it becomes Captain Obvious. So now, if that's the case, can you do another headhunting program based upon the profit? You just need to figure out, you'd need to take whatever the $1,000 is, back it into how many people, how much profit do you have? Where can you fund your drive, fund your success? How much is it? Could be $25 a head, could be Foot Cleanse, $25. I'll give you $25. It's a $40 thing. And if you like, I can put it on credit so that when you come in for yours, yours is always free. Doesn't have to be cash. They may want cash. They may want to use the product more. My dad was the king of gifting. He would always, I'd be with, and I learned it. I'd be, if Paul was my, hey, Paul, listen, what's the favorite restaurant you and your bride like to go to? Oh, we love this place. Could I, if it was possible, could I take you to dinner there one night? Oh, we'd love that. Well, here's the gift certificate. I won't be able to join you, but why don't you guys go on your own? It got so it became such a consistent thing that when I would set the appointment, sometimes I couldn't speak to them personally. When I'd set the appointment, I go, Mary, when does Paul have an opening? I need to come in because Mary knows me, because Mary got to go to dinner well. And Mary would set me on his schedule. And then I'd get a call back from Mary. Paul said he wanted to go to Outback. You know what that means. So it means I show up with Outback gift certificates. It just saved a lot of time. So that's some thoughts.
Thank you.
How's it feel to know a temporary solution?
It feels great.
Yeah. New neural pathways, new neural coding, right? This is the law of success. Figure out what it is. Definite. We're talking about definite chief aim. That was the reason why I walked her through this, everybody, is because definite chief aim, go make $5,000. What's the price you're going to pay? I'm willing to pay $1,000 to make 4,000. I'll do that all day long. Could I have another, please? Now the question is how can we do it efficaciously, if that's the word? Efficaciously. How can we do it nicely so that it makes sense? Right? And where do we spend it? Oh, I've never done that before. Awesome. Well, let's go do it. Do you have people who love this? Do you have people who are willing to go share it? Do you have people who have influence, right? We talk about influence. Do they have enough influence that for $50, $75, they'd get somebody's butt in the chair for $300? Now, they may say, just give them my discount. Outstanding. I don't care. I'm going to spend the money either way. Somebody's going to be a hero. So now the skill you need is to be able to open your mouth and tell them you have a potential bonus program for them. What would that sound like? Learning how to promote it is also a price you'll pay. What would that sound like? If you got somebody on the phone right now, what would you say to them? And you
I
can
want to share with you a new bonus program that I'm putting in place.
Okay. So that sounds like it's for you, not for them. They know it's a bonus program, right? You got to listen to how they hear it. Heather, what do you love about radionics? So you're now the client. Well,
Oh, I love how it makes me feel.
what's it done for you? I mean, I think I know what it's done for you, but what's been the biggest takeaway for you?
Do you want me to answer that?
We're role playing. What's been the biggest takeaway?
Um, well, I am taking less pharmaceuticals.
Would you know anybody that would want to be able to say that as well?
Yes.
And here's why. My mentor, right? Always you want to create the third party. You want to find the common enemy. I've got a business coach, and he said I should I should create a thank you program, a bonus program, help me grow my business program. What I have available, and I don't know if this is going to make sense, but I've got, for anybody who refers me somebody out, he said to offer them $75 as a thank you in any form or fashion. Could be cash, could be gift cards. Sometimes people will say, listen, I've got Tommy, so instead of it being $300, it's $225. Just give him my bonus. I want them to try it because sometimes we just want to gift the bonus. What would that do? Would that be enough for you to share that with somebody? I mean, you're one of my best clients, so I'm kind of asking for your feedback. I'm not asking you to do it. I'm kind of asking for your feedback. Is that enough for somebody to share, or maybe share it when you don't want the money? I don't know. And you ask that to one of your clients like that. Saying, I can't, my business is strong because of you. So can I ask you some kind of business questions just as a customer to see if it makes sense? And you get them to buy into the process.
I will use that tomorrow.
Okay. So do you see how the definite chief aim works? The price you're going to pay, and the price you're going to pay is the price we're always going to pay for the thing we want is never what we did. It's a version of what we did, but it'll always be something new. It'll be a twist. It'll be a Wallace D. Wattles doing certain things in a certain way that'll make the difference. Does that help?
Very much. Thank
Cool.
you.
What'd you learn? What'd you like?
I learned that with some focus, a world of opportunity will open up. And I like the idea of putting a rewards or a bonus program into place for my existing clients.
So rather than bonus or rewards, think about so where my brain went to is a recognition for them staying healthy, a recognition for their commitment to their health, to their wellness. Right? I put in a wellness recognition program. And I want to say thank you for being healthy. Thank you for letting me help you on that journey. And I want to reward you for that. Now the reward is, let's go make somebody else healthy. But I want to reward you for you staying healthy, because this is only for my active clients. So now they see it as a thank you to themselves for continuing the process. Because I can never find the sandwich card with 10 holes in it to go get my free sandwich. Cool. Who else? Thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways? What'd you learn? What'd you like from that little conversation?
Thank you, Heather, so much. I was going to ask about the mastermind eggs in one basket, the building the house, and then this went on, and what I observed is actually I saw Heather putting her radionics talents eggs all in one basket. And that was really cool. Of course, I don't know what radionics is, but that was cool. That was really cool. My question about the building of the house
Mm-hmm.
and everyone doing that. Is it in fact when there are the architect plans and there's the project manager or the general contractor, whatever you want to call them, and all of these people working together, is it a mastermind in that they are following kind of they're following a plan, but their plan is just a portion. I'm thinking of the framers coming in all hung over, they do what they're gonna do, and then they leave and they're off to the next thing. It's like, I got my job done, I'm versus a mastermind where everybody's collectively working together with their eggs in one basket.
So much like any mastermind, you and I go into a mastermind. Are we going to interact with people who are not in our mastermind, but help us achieve our goal?
Yes.
So that's the same as the framers. They're not part of the mastermind. Remember the 4 income models? Manipulation,
Yes.
coordination, communication, imagination. They're part of the manipulation. They're not part of the mastermind.
Oh, okay.
Somebody's got to pour the tea. Somebody's got to drive the train.
Yes. Their skills are necessary, their talents are necessary.
Right.
I
They're
get it.
they're the manipulation to swing a hammer, move some timbers, and put some frames in place. But they could care less about the mass. They could care less about the finish. So this is the difference between, you know, the story of the stonecutter, right?
I'm not sure.
So the guy walks up onto a stonecutter and he says, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm cutting stones for this church. Freaking average. It's hot and it's everything else." I think, okay. And he walks over to the next stonecutter. He says, "What are you doing?" He says, this, I've been asked to cut one of the cornerstones for the church. This is going to be so amazing. And it's going to go, you see where it goes right up there at the top. You see we're at the top, we're at the cupola or whatever it is. And and this stone is going to go there. Same stone cutter, different intention. There's a framer who could become the foreman, who then could become the GC, who then could start his own business. Carnegie came, he didn't know anything about steel. He came from Scotland here to the States broke. He doesn't know anything about steel. One of the richest men on the planet. He learned how to move people. Imagination, right? He did imagination and communication. He started off with manipulation and coordination. But then when he realized that he could communicate better and then use his imagination, became the richest man, one of the richest men on the planet. Henry Ford, high school, grade school education, manipulation, coordination, imagination, communication, imagination. Dumb as a box of rocks, but knew how to get things done. So the framers are not part of the mastermind. They're a tool that people who have them, right? What's that phrase that says, for those who think they can't work for people who think they can. Those who don't think it can be done work for people who know it can be done. So, yeah. Does that help? I may
Yes.
be a dead horse.
Thank you for clearing that up. Veritas is telling me to drop the labels. Basically is stop labeling, because there was a call, I don't even remember, one of our calls, you spoke of and I went, oh my gosh, that's exactly right, of labels being using labels makes us racist. We're racist because we're using labels. And I went, oh
Yep.
my gosh, that is absolutely right. And that's what she reminded me of. So
And here's the other thing. We may want everybody in the mastermind, but remember, once you start a mastermind and you have somebody in it, there has to be 100% agreement between the two for the third one. Doesn't matter who started it. Oh, I really want them in here. No, I don't like them. They ain't getting in. Because this is about working in harmony. Otherwise, you've got a coffee clutch.
And is it not also so that when two or more are working in harmony, there is yet another mind in, I don't know, in the
Well, there-
ether or something?
When I argue with a framer, I can think of new ways to yell at a framer negatively. So there's always a mastermind. It's more likely to be a positive result, but you can argue with somebody and think about throwing all kinds of dirt on them that you didn't think about when you were by yourself. So masterminds always show up. It doesn't mean that it's only always positive. To have a mastermind doesn't mean it's got to be positive. How many of you have ever argued with the TV? Mastermind.
Or GPS, which I did this morning.
Yep. Isn't that fascinating?
It is.
Who else? Thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways?
Thank you.
You're welcome. What'd you learn? What'd you like?
Well,
Hey, Sean.
Hang on, Roger Lemberdu. What'd you learn? What'd you like with Louise? And then
well, I learned about I learned what a master, I mean, that yes, in a mastermind, there are other entities that are needed, not necessarily part of the mastermind. That's what I learned. And what I liked was it's okay and sometimes necessary to have those entities there. Not, I'm sorry, we have a special little group here, you're not allowed. Which is what Veritas is laughing at me, because she's like, label, hello.
Yep.
So thank you.
You're welcome. Cool. Hey, Raj.
Hey, Sean. The key takeaway was the concentration, the focus part. When you're talking about, when you're looking at the mountain, you can't look at the flowers or the birds singing. You got to focus on the mountain. That was my key takeaway.
And
Concentration.
I love it. And network marketing presentations are major distractions. And the reason they're major distractions, I built them. I would create them for companies. The challenge is that nobody ever got permission to give the presentation. They just assumed. So therefore, the presentation became a distraction. Right? Every presentation talks about the industry, the company, the timing, the possibility, the product, the compensation plan, the team, and getting started. That's 8 things in 45 minutes. That's 5 minutes a thing. Talk about confusing. Unless everything I speak to has an established definite chief aim, an established focal point. But most people who are presenters never find out why they're giving the presentation. They just give the presentation. They practice the presentation to be able to give the presentation. Do you know why you're giving the presentation? Why they want to sign up. Why do they want to sign up? Well, they want to create some money. Why do they want to create some money? Well, because they got to take care of their mom. So the presentation is so they can take care of their mom, not to sign up. If I can show them a way so that they can take care of their mom better than anything else, their next question is how do I get started? But we don't present that way. Nobody is taught to present. Nobody teaches to present that way. They all hope that if I throw enough magic dust out there, you're going to figure out going, ooh, I got to get started. Questions, questions. You got to ask questions. Ask questions. Why? What do you do? Why am I here? You looking for a reason to get started or an excuse not to? Because if any excuse not to is I'm 6'2", 6'3" on a good day. That should be a reason to quit, right? What? Any reason will work. You're going to use any reason to quit. Are you looking for a reason to get started? Then I'm only going to speak to that. But we don't clarify, right? Clarify, qualify, create expectation. How many have used that? How many of you know this? The CQE, the clarify, CQ, qualify, CE, create expectation. How many of you know that formula? How many of you have you heard me teach that formula? How many of you have used it in the last 48 hours? Yeah, why would you use something that works? I'm just saying, you guys are working too hard. I don't want you to work so hard. Keep pulling your hair out. I'm going to start selling wigs. Anyone else? Questions, comments, thoughts, takeaways? I ain't saying nothing. He's being meanie now. He's big meanie pants. Okay. I appreciate y'all. I love you tons so very, 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 very much. Let me put it. We ended here. Where did we end? We ended.
I have an unrelated question.
Yes, please.
Where's the information about the summit that you're going to be on?
If you go to expertise2entrepreneur.com.
Isn't it expert to entrepreneur?
Expert to entrepreneur.com.
.com. And you can get signed up there.
Thank you.
I am on at 4:30 Central Standard Time tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow. They don't know what to do with me.
They'll figure it out.
They'll figure it out. It'll be fascinating to find the solution. Any of you see the interview live on Instagram or the replay? Go to Zena Solomon. Thought her hair was going to blow off. It's like, oh my God. When we finish, you are just on fire. Like, well,
You blew a New Yorker away. It was lovely.
yeah. So, because the only conversation I had with her was this, right? I said, so let's go do a live. Let's go do a live someplace. And she said that Friday. I said, okay, cool. But this is all the more emotion that she saw. And then when, I got on stage, it was like, okay.
You were so on. It was amazing.
Good. I appreciate that feedback. And I asked, there's a couple of people I ask, and they're like, are you kidding? Why do you ask? I said, because I know I'm good, but I don't know when you're in the thick of it. I don't always know. I think it's good. So I love it. I'm your head brain training. See you at the summit tomorrow and early in the morning. Misfit. I'll see y'all where?
The next
At the
Next
next
event.
event.
I love it, love it, love it. All right, y'all, go have an amazing evening. Enjoy, sleep well, have some fun, hydrate. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.
Good night.
Peace, family.
Thank you, Sean.
You
Hope
bet.
you all have a good night.
Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome.